If you hear someone squealing out here in the middle of November on a Saturday afternoon, it's probably me because I caught a fish. All of my family and my friends, they think I'm crazy. So during the pandemic, I got into kayaking, or shortly before the pandemic started, and then when we were all kind of isolated, kayaking was my escape, you know, to get me out of the house. And so every day almost I was on the water. I personally do not know of anyone else doing kayak jug fishing anywhere else. It was just kind of a necessity for me. I'm like, well, I don't have a boat, but I have a kayak. I'm using goldfish and minnows for bait. Today I'm doing some jug fishing. And what that is either some homemade kind of device that you've got that floats, that has all your information on it. This one is a disc jug, and what will happen is I've got 2 hooks on this jug. I'll put my bait on there, have it weight, I lower into the water, lower the disc, the yellow side up, and I know when I've got something hooked when the jug flips. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. So typically for when I jug fish, I have 2 hooks on each jug. You can have more, but for me, 2 hooks is about what I can tolerate, and I typically do 4 jugs at a time. And I like to use minnows, large minnows and goldfish. They like the orange, shiny stuff, and of course they love large minnows, so try to feed them what they want. Yeah, so I don't have any electronics, and I will watch the water and I'll watch the birds, and I will kind of locate the channel from that. So the channel typically runs like right through here, and so I just space them, give them a good space, but place them right here in the middle of the channel and just wait for the fish to come. This is always, if I'm not sure where to fish, I will run my lines this way and then this way. And whenever I get a consistent bite in an area, then I start lining them up right there. For me, this spot is the spot. So just put them all right through here to about that tip right there, anywhere in between here, and tend to do pretty good. On a really calm day, you can end up seeing the channel. The birds tend to kind of follow in that spot, anywhere you are on the lake. And growing up, my dad always taught me, you know, you want to follow the birds. Typically the birds will tell you a lot about what's going on in the water. And that I still find to be true, you know, 20 years later, 30 years later. So my dad loved to fish. His one of, if not his most favorite pastime, catfishing, bass fishing, crappie fishing, anything on the water fishing, and he just loved it. So naturally, I was a daddy's girl tag along, and you know, I have 2 hands, so he's like, you're gonna learn to fish. And I remember vividly being 3 or 4 years old, standing in the driveway or in the front yard and casting, and just over and over and over again. And it was always him prepping the boat for a trip that we were gonna go out on, or maybe he was gonna go out on and I couldn't go, so that's how he got me excited anyway. And so then as I got to a little bit older and would listen better, he would take me out and we'd go fishing, and then every time he would come home and he would clean the fish. He had a process that he followed, and I would just sit on the counter and watch him clean all of this fish. And it was just natural, normal for us. And when I decided that I was gonna start keeping my fish and you know, using it as a food source, all of those memories of watching him do it came back. It was like second nature. I remembered exactly how to do it from just watching the process repeatedly. And so for me, in many ways, catfishing, being out here on the water, is like hanging out with my dad again. There are certain conversations that we didn't get to have when I was an adult, but in many ways, going through his tackle or going through the process, it's like he's giving me advice. I know what he's saying by the stuff that's in his tackle box. All right, guys, it's been a couple hours, so we're just gonna check. Looks like we've got some activity. So we're gonna check and see if we've got anything. Oh yeah, we got something. It's already been caught too. It's about I'd say 3 to 5 pounds. Good sized fish. It's already been caught before. Yeah, it's a beautiful fish. It's been, kind of a trip down memory lane. The more further into the fishing I go, the more memories, kind of resurface, and it just makes you feel really good. It is, it's a journey back home. Over time, it's just kind of become my peace, spending time outdoors, whether it's fishing, kayaking, or just sitting here watching the water, brings me a lot of therapy. I know it can be a sport for some people, but for me, that activity is just getting kind of close back to my roots. Oh yeah, we get us another fish, for sure. It's pulling. There's a little channel cat. This is one of my passions, for sure. I thought it was a little quirky because I hadn't seen anybody else doing it. But yeah, I will be doing this as long as my body allows me for the rest of my life. And it's a great way to feed my family, have fun, get some exercise, spend time in nature. And it's something I hope that my children will pass on to their children. If I could, I'd be out here all the time, every day. All right, guys, so we've been out here for several hours, about 5 hours or so, and we've been waiting, and within about 10 minutes, both of these flipped. We got 2 different species of catfish in about 10 minutes. It's worth it, even if you're just out here waiting. That's why they call it fishing. My mom is pretty proud. I have 2 daughters, and they're very proud that I'm catching big fish, not just little fish. It's something that my dad and I shared. I think that it brings a lot of happiness for my family to see that that's still going on.